Good evening, everyone. How are you? Thank you so much for joining us on the call tonight, which is about essential oils and pets. I just want to put a caveat out there before we even start. I have a little, he's about 6.5, 7-week-old little foster dog that is hanging out with me till he finds his forever home. So his name is Luca. Hi, my name is Luca, and he is available for adoption. And he will be coming in and showing us a few of the ways we can do application of essential oils tonight. But I just want to put out, if you do hear like squeaking or all of a sudden you see me like go quiet, because he's probably up to mischief. So without further ado, let me put him down and hopefully he'll go to sleep. And then we can get started. Let me share my screen. So again, thank you so much for joining us. For all those that don't know me, my name is Rebecca Precious, and I am a huge pet and animal lover. I love that we can use essential oils to help promote health and wellness in our pets, not only just within ourselves. In fact, my way of getting into Young Living essential oils was through one of my horses back in 2001. So I have a horse now, dogs, cats, as well as foster, and volunteer for foster dogs that I volunteer for a rescue. So pretty adverse with using essential oils in pets, needless to say. So tonight on the presentation, we are here to be using to teach you ways that we can be using essential oils with your pets. We'll go over some of the different methods, safety, precautions, and then what I'll do is at the end of the presentation, because I try and keep these around about the 30-35 minute mark, we'll go ahead and I'll stop kind of the teaching part of that, and then at the very end, I'll share with you some fun recipes that we have found. We'll also go over some of the, we'll touch on some of the animal scent collection oils. So without further ado, let's get started. Oh, before we do, I just have to read the mandatory disclaimer. Just want you guys to know, so I'm not here to diagnose, treat, cure, prescribe, offer any kind of medical advice. I do not have a medical background. So, we are not allowed to offer that. But what I can do is I can help with finding resources, and I can just give you my personal opinion on what has worked for me in the past or other Young Living distributors in working with their animals. And for all those who don't know me, I will be 100% honest with you. If I don't know, I will tell you I have no idea. But the good thing about our group, within our big Young Living group, we're very, very animal focused. In fact, we're more animal focused than a lot of the other teams within Young Living. So if I don't know the answer and one of our team members don't know the answer, we probably have the resources between either books or with other Facebook groups, and we can put out there and we can see if we can try and help you. So without further ado, let's now get started. So why Young Living? So there's great controversy surrounding the use of essential oils with pets. There's several factors to this. First, we want to use oil safely. This is a big one, obviously. The second factor is quality and purity of essential oils being used. Everything we are sharing tonight is based on the use of Young Living essential oils only. Please, please, please do not use the techniques or information found in this class on any other brand of essential oils. For example, tea tree oil is one of the most controversial use of essential oils out there, and one of the most controversial use on animals in particular. The essential oil quickly became popular and then spread an abundance of poor quality, contaminated and synthetically created oils, which then flooded the market. Most oils on the market were created for fragrance use only. So that means that they're not designed to be used for therapeutic value. With that being said, sorry, my little puppy is already up to mischief. So, so they're not designed for fragrance use. So that's meant they're not meant to be used for therapeutic value. They're just designed for scent only. Young Living is extraordinary when it comes to setting the bar with essential oils. They're a very, very transparent company when it comes to their product. From beginning to end, they share the process with us, and they actually allow you, and they want you to be a part of that. So you know exactly the quality of essential oils you are getting. At every step of the way, they test. They do in-house testing. They do third-party testing. And Young Living is the only company that can do it, because they are the only company that's involved in every step of the process. So there's other big companies out there. We won't mention names, but a lot of you might have heard of one particular company. Those companies buy from brokers, or they buy their oils from brokers. So they test at the very end of the process. They don't test in the beginning because they don't have the ability. They're buying from a broker, right? They don't test with the soil. They don't test with the seeds. They don't test with the water, just because, like I said, they don't have that control. Because Young Living have that control, that's why Young Living oils have such amazing therapeutic actions. Young Living opens up the lavender farms in Utah. They're on-site labs in their warehouses where they bottle. In fact, myself and a couple of our team members have actually gone out and partaken in the lavender harvest, as well as going out and partaking in the winter harvest doing the balsam fir, and it was incredible. They are the only company that allows you to do this, and they are the only company that actually offers this to you. Our pets can greatly benefit from essential oils, even if we're just diffusing in our own home. They get to breathe in those therapeutic properties. So the best way to start with using essential oils is to be very intentional about them and keep the mindset while you're using them. Whenever using an oil on your pets or yourself, it's helpful to ask yourself, what are you expecting the outcome to be? How do you want the outcome to be? Set the attention ahead of time and commit to it while using the oils and applying. For instance, when using oils for emotional assistance, set the desired attention of what you're supporting and why. Here are some of the other benefits of using essential oils with your pets. So they're quick, easy, very convenient to apply and use. Dilution is very simple. You don't need a science background to work out how to dilute. They're what we call wildcrafted and natural. So what wildcrafted is people say, like, these oils don't say they're organic on the label. And that's because they're not organic. Organic means that the land has only been cleared for 3 years. That in Young Living isn't acceptable. Wildcrafted means there has never, ever been a chemical that's coming from the land. So, but they'll even do wind analysis to make sure that chemicals can't come on the land. Then they analyze the water to make sure the water sources are the purest. So that is what wildcrafted is. Now, when you think about a lavender, if a lavender is distilled on the side of a busy highway versus a lavender distilled high in the mountains, at the end of the distillation, they're still going to smell the same, right? But their therapeutic values are going to be totally off. And so that's the one thing with like wildcrafted versus natural. The essential oils have a very safe wild margin. I can't talk. They have a very safe safety margin. They can start working almost immediately. They have oxygenating properties. They're very high in antioxidants. So we want to combat those free radicals. We don't want free radicals, right? They can be soothing to joints and muscles. They're great for supporting the immune system. They aid in digestion, and they're comforting, soothing, and relaxing. When it comes to safety in pets, and with the safety with essential oils, if you use the same, you could approach it with the same head, the same kind of common sense head as you would with using essential oils on ourselves. But here are a few caveats. So I always like to go over it. It's always good to have a little refresher. The biggest thing to remember is have common sense, right? Avoid getting essential oils in the eyes, nose, anal area, and genital areas. Use caution with newborn animals and pregnant animals. Leave a way out for your pets. The animals are smart. If you're diffusing and they don't want it, and they don't like it, it's good to leave them a way out of a room. You don't want to force this on them. You really don't. Dilution with essential oils is important. There are a few, when I work with horses, I don't tend to dilute. I tend to apply neat. But when I'm working with smaller animals, dogs, cats, I pretty much dilute 99.9% of the time. It's easy. It will help stretch your essential oils and make them go further. But it's also, you want to slow down the process. So dilution is definitely the way to go. You want to start kind of low and slow when you're starting with using essential oils with them. Put small amounts on your pets and slowly build them up, or just by wearing them yourself, or diffusing before moving on to a topical application on your pets. And just as you wouldn't necessarily go in and change your pet's diet straight away, don't go ahead and blast your pet with 20 different essential oils and a bunch of supplements on the first day. Start with diluting the oils. Let's do a light touch. It's very wise in the beginning. That there are exceptions to this rule. If an animal is in critical condition, then we don't want to go light. We've got to go in heavy, because it could be a life or death situation, and we're trying to support them. But for the most part, just go in light. It's much easier to apply more oils than it is when you've applied too many oils, and we've got to slow that process down. And listen to your pets' signals and cues. And the same for yourself. Listen to your signals and cues too. Don't feel compelled to use the full amount of recommendations with an individual animal, maybe showing you, clues that a light approach is necessary. Honor that animal. If we're going to do, if the book says 3 drops and you notice after 1 drop, it's enough, then guess what? Do 1 drop. You got to go with what you're being presented with. There's a couple of good books that I recommend. My favorite one is the Death Reference that just came out in June by Life Size Publishing. Essential Oils and Pets by Dr. Mary Hess is another good one. And a little small one to carry around in your back pocket is Animals 101, Life Size Publishing. 1 minute. I thought I got rid of all the squeaky noise, but I didn't. So here's a nice little chart on dilution. And like I said, when it comes to dogs and cats, I pretty much do, for me personally, I actually do 90% dilution. I have a dog that is a English flat coat retriever, and he has a huge oil aversion, which means he hates the oils. I created that when he was much younger as a puppy. He was very sick, and I just was blasting him, like I told you before, with oils. And so now the amount of oils that he has to have on would be what I would put on my cat. But that is enough for him. Anything more than that is too much. So use the dilution chart as a rule of thumb, but also, like I said from the last slide, go with what you're being presented with. So there's a couple of ways that we can use essential oils with pets. One is aromatic, the second is topical, and the third is internal. So with aromatic, we use a diffuser, and a diffuser disperses the oils into the air. It doesn't heat the oils up, and it ensures that the therapeutic benefits are not damaged. Versus with a lot of the diffusers that you can get on Amazon that are a lot cheaper, they actually will have the heat that will come into them, and that will destroy the chemical makeup of the oils. You don't want that. You want to have a cold pump, because that's what keeps the chemical constituents of the oils intact. Another way is add a couple of drops on a cotton ball and place them in air vents around the room. I do that a lot when I'm traveling in hotels. Add them directly to your pet's bedding. You can add a couple of drops on your palm of your hands and rub them together, and let your pet sniff your hand. That's always a good one. Make a spray and spritz. And the easiest and most efficient way of using essential oils with our pets, diffusing. Very, very easy. And it's always the one that I always talk about. That's the best way to start out with. For many of us, diffusion may be all you ever decide to do. As diffusing oils, like I said, is one of the quickest ways of getting essential oil molecules into our body. If you're using oils consistently and you're not seeing the results that you are expecting, then you might have to change up your method of application and start doing internal or topical. So let's talk about topical. So there are times when topical use of essential oils is called for. Dry, itchy skin, helping keep the pests away. Just remember, you want to dilute based on the oil in the size of your pets. When applying oils topically, you can add the oils to your hand, rub your hands together, and then massage it into the fur. We call this petting. Fur is just like a wig and sucks the oils directly into the body. So don't worry that you have to touch the skin directly. An example would be like when you and your pet, you just finished a long, intense run, and you really stretch those muscles. Now you want to soothe your stress muscles and joints. So the best way to get the best ways to get the results you need would be apply the oils topically to you. So, rub them over your areas, on your legs, and then the residual, that's what's left on your hands, I would then rub that on the pet. In that instance, diffusing wouldn't really be the way to go, right? And then the next way is internal. And yes, internal is very much an option, and a lot of people get kind of freaked out by it. Don't. It's really not that, big a deal. And one thing is, I hear it all the time. People are like, oh, you take your oils internally? And I'm like, yeah. And they're like, yeah, I wouldn't do that. You know what damage it can do? Number one, they have no understanding of what Young Living essential oils are versus an essential oil that's in a natural food store. Number two is anything that you put on your skin gets absorbed internally. So if you're saying I can't take it by swallowing, but I can put it on my skin, that's still going to get absorbed, it's the same thing. I mean, some people, I guess, just really aren't the sharpest pencils in the box. Anyway, so when it comes to taking it internally, there's a couple of things that we can do. One is we can apply it to our pet's water, food, or via veggie capsule. If you're going to apply it to your pet's water, be sure use a stainless steel, glass or ceramic bowl. Don't use plastic because the toxins are going to work on breaking down that plastic, and they are going to then create more toxins, which is exactly what we don't want to happen. So let's not do that. And another thing is, if you are going to give it to them, if you're going to give them in a water source, give them another option. Give them 2 bowls, right? I'm sorry, just looking at the dog again. Give them 2 bowls. You don't want to get the dog, you don't want to get your pet dehydrated if they choose not to drink the water. And some oils are definitely more appealing than others. Strong tastes and flavors may not be appealing to your pets. So take that into consideration when making your oil selection. And hot oils, or oils hot oils such as oregano or peppermint, aren't necessarily the best to be adding to water for our smaller animals, as water intensifies these oils. Another way of doing it is with Ningxia Red. Ningxia Red is fantastic for supporting a pet's immune system. So what I do with my Ningxia Red is I give it to them in a probiotic yogurt and mix it up, and they'll eat that. I also will give their Ningxia Red in a little pup cup if they're going to get spoiled. I know that we have Ali Phillips, who's in our group. She is a huge cat person, and she gives Ningxia Red to her cats. That's something where I do periodically with my cats. I gotta be honest, I do kind of forget. So maybe I need to start adding that to them too. And another thing you can do is adding oils to a veggie capsule. And a veggie capsule is just like a gel cap. You just pop it open, you can put the oils in and then wrap it in some deli meat and give it to them. I've been doing that with my little girl, Sky. She's just had surgery and she's got some, they had to cut her tendon. And so we've been giving some of the oils internally to help support the body through going through this process. All right, now you can also add an oil and mix it into the food. I gotta tell you, my animals are particularly picky, being that I cook for them half the time. They won't even eat dog food. There is no way that they are gonna eat any food with essential oil in it. No way at all. But I do have other people that don't have such picky animals or spoiled, pick which word you like there, and they have no issues in putting some food in and mixing it for their animals. All right, so let's kind of just go over some of the basic oils and kind of some uses on how you would use them with our pets. So two of the big ones here, lavender. Lavender is huge. I mean, lavender is very mild, it's a gentle oil. It's extremely versatile and very well loved for pets. Lavender is well suited to all pets and animals. It's been extensively used in most fragile of creatures. Lavender is very amazing for its calming effects and supporting healthy coat and skin. And this one is great at repelling pests. I also love using lavender in very stressful situations. Frankincense. Frankincense can be used in every aspect of pet care. Frankincense is considered the life force oil and is being used in just about on every animal in every way possible. I remember at one point we used frankincense to help support a fish. I believe it was fish poop or something like that. And we just put a toothpick of the frankincense in the water to help. Frankincense is, like I said, is very tolerated, versatile, very effective. It's fantastic if used on newborns in every species, even when they're minutes old. If you put 1 or 2 drops of lavender on the umbilical cords, this can have such a calming and amazing way to welcome the new baby into the world. Diffusing frankincense can be profound around eggs, nests, and birthing areas of your pets. And frankincense can also help magnify and enhance the effects of other essential oils when used. Next to that, definitely peppermint is a must for Northern Virginia this time of year. It is hot here. So peppermint is a driving oil that can help enhance the penetration of other oils. It's a great one to help support digestive function, bowel function, and gastrointestinal support. It's a good one to add for a drop of water as a natural breath freshener. Peppermint will also be a good one to help with digestion, occasional gas, and constipation. Peppermint is also great to help with encouraging a proper respiratory function, and it's a good one for joint and cartilage. So you see it's very versatile and has many uses. For cats, I'm just going to put it out there, peppermint is a strong oil, but it still can be used. Cats have many opinions on things, so the way to use peppermint with them might be more limiting, depending on how your cat wants it. The kitty raindrop technique with dilution is one that many cats love. I have a little kitty, long-haired kitty that's FIV positive, and so we do kitty raindrops with her just to help support her system and boost her system. And she loves it, loves it. I have another cat that if I was to try and even do this, his name is called Savvy the Savage, and there's a reason for that, and we just need to say it would be a difficult situation. But one other way of using the essential oils with pets is if you get the animal scent ointment, you can mix 1 drop of the oil with about a tablespoon of the ointment, and that way put that ointment on them. You might have more chance of doing it that way than rather just versus dropping an oil and waiting to try and catch them and put it on. Some of the other things that you can do, if you wanted to use peppermint with your cat, I would then maybe use one of the blends or one of the massage oils that has peppermint in, such as like Ortho-Ease is a great one to help with older cats in supporting their system. So I'd kind of go more that route than using like direct peppermint with them. Diagize is one that I don't think any pet animal can live without. This is probably one of the most used oils in my house. I can honestly say I have never, ever diffused this oil because it stinks, in my opinion. But I definitely use it by applying topically and taking internally. It's a great one to be used with upset and sour stomachs. Animals eat crap just the way we do, so we do need to support them when they do that. if I feel that, like, especially with my dog tummy, you know, I'll just put a drop on the dog's tummy and just rub that in, and that seems to help do the trick. One of the things I love about Diagi is that it encourages the dogs to poop. And when, you know, I supplement my dog's income. Oh, supplement my dog's income. What is wrong with me? Oh my goodness. I supplement my dog's diet with canned pumpkin, but I also put a drop of Diagi in, just to help support her, just for doing her business. Oh my goodness. And then I also use Diagi with my long-haired cat, who gets some wicked fur balls, and that has helped support that. So thieves and purification. Thieves is a must for cleaning and taking care of your pet's daily wellness regime. This one is a great oil to have in your toolkit. I take it everywhere that I go. I have on-the-go cleanser that I use when we go to places where our dogs will be exposed to other animals. I just spritz them off, like their paws and fur coats, because dogs carry all kinds of gross things in their fur, and I don't want them bringing those gross things back to me. No, no, no. Especially with their paws too, because I walk around my house barefoot, and I don't want to be walking in anything. So yeah, I spritz my dogs down before they come into the house. Thieves is also an amazing oil for supporting healthy immune system for both our animals and our pets. Though do take caution, this is a hot oil, and so definitely want to be applying, definitely want to be diluting if you're going to be applying it topically. It does contain cinnamon and clove, of which you should have caution with animals that have bleeding or have tendency to bleed. They can act as like a blood thinner. We also use the Thieves, products for cleaning. Animals are super sensitive to chemicals, and I no longer have to worry about my pets walking on our Just Mop floors because there's no harmful chemicals in any of the Young Living products. Whereby if I was to buy a store-bought product, I was getting worried about my pets walking on the floor after we mopped them, as they got the harmful chemicals were getting absorbed through the animal pores. And we know that many, many animals have been killed through the exposure of toxins and chemicals that way. Purification. This stuff is amazing, and it's a little bottle of goodness. I don't know how many times I have had to use this because my dog goes out and likes to roll in crap. In fact, that's on his daily agenda, to find as much smelly stuff to roll in as possible. And it's a great one for adding a couple of drops into the animal scent shampoo for some more of those stinkier situations, which basically is every day with me. And when we're diffusing for these, it's a great one for diffusing for those stinky dog farts. It's a must. You just wouldn't think that a creature so small and so beautiful as like some of my dogs, and even my cat drops a few farts now and again. But they're so small, and they come out with these like huge stink bombs. So hence I keep a diffuser by my bed. Actually, that sounds like I'm dropping stink bombs by nighttime by my bed. No, I just want to let you know that some of my dogs sleep on the floor next to the bed. It's not because I'm dropping stink bombs. We're just putting that out there right now. And there's also a great one for adding for pest away spray. So you can, apply it to your dogs every couple of weeks. And did I also mention it smells freaking amazing? So there you go. Copaiba is a little powerhouse in the animal world. This one is so great because it barely has any scent or flavor, and that just makes it about animal friendly for just about everything. And every animal that has a sensitive nose out there, you can actually try and trick them with using this one that they won't actually know it. That's except for my Sirius, who does know. But just putting it out there, you can try. I love this one because it does magnify the other effects of the essential oils. So this one is great to use in conjunction with other oils. In fact, I use it consistently with other oils. It's amazing for help supporting the skin, supporting joints and muscles. And what I do is I have like a creaky joint that I make up, which is like 1 to 2 drops of coconut oil, 10 drops of frankincense, 8 drops of copaiba, and 6 drops of peppermint. And I use that and rub that down with my horses. I rub it down with my dogs, and I can definitely see the benefit for me doing that. The next one is Panaway, and Panaway is soothing and can be used with animals. Just take some caution and consideration with this one. It's a good one for using with, to soothe the muscles and joints in your pets, especially as they begin to start creeping up there in age. But you might want to consider that not all pets tolerate this one very well. You definitely need a lot of extra dilution. I do this one like 90% to 1. So basically 1 drop. I would, the rest of 90% I would make up with the dilution. But as it is a very, very intense oil. But saying that, I have been using this with my dog that just had the tendon surgery, Skylina, and I've been making like a warm compress with her. So all I do is take a bowl of steamy water. I add 1 or 2 drops of the Panaway, and soak a wash rag in it, squeeze it out, and then I apply it to her shoulder area where she's recovering from her surgery, and her muscles are getting very sore and tired from where they've been supporting her. Just note that water does intensify the oils, so I apply a carrier oil before I do the compress on her, and then it just kind of takes it down a little bit, so it's not quite so intense. All right, one that I want to talk about is the animal scent line. And it surprises me how many animal people that we have out there. You don't use the animal scent line. I have no idea why. And when I talk to them, they're like, no, I haven't tried it yet. I'm like, why not? I think every oil is basically under $20. That in itself should be motivation to want to use it, right? I mean, we know that some of the oils can be pretty expensive. But some of the things that I love about the animal line is, so these oils have actually been diluted, which when we've been using them for like Sirius, that's the dog that has the oil aversion, he's far better with having the animal line oils on him. And the one thing that I found is I start at the back end with him and gradually work forward. I don't put oils around his neck and shoulder area if I can help it. And he's far more tolerant of me doing it that way. So let's just quickly go over the animal scent line. So the first 3, they kind of work synergistically together. And that's Pure, Clean, Infect Well, and Mend Well. And these 3 synergistic blends, they complement each other and work together to help support our pets when they need it the most. The oils work best in a 3-step process, but they also can be used as standalones. They help the body to maximize the healing environment so it can be used so it can do its best. Now, because I'm trying my absolute best to keep this cool compliant, all you have to do is read the names of the labels and you kind of figure out exactly what they do. You don't need me to tell you. The next 3 are the TOA, the Repel Aroma, and the Paragize. Now, the Repel Aroma has been out of stock for 2 years or so. That's because of the blue tansy that's in there. They haven't been able to get a harvest that's of the therapeutic benefits of the standard that we need, so they've rejected about 2 harvests, and hence that we haven't had the oil to make up the blend. Now, the other 2, TOA and Paragize, the TOA every animal person should be with. TOA is great. So TOA is the diluted version of Trauma Life. And TOA is fantastic for working with animals who suffer from like abuse, neglect, and other emotional traumatic events from previous owners or previous experiences. Emotional distress does take its toll on animals. Now, one of the things what I do with TOA is, I'm just going to show you, and Puppy's asleep, of course. So with TOA, so with Rescue Puppy, with Luca, he had a bit of a story before he came to us. And so he's gone through had a rough ordeal in his few short weeks already on this planet. But what I do with him is I cuddle him, and I put Teaway on my neck here. So I cuddle him, so he buries himself in. So he's getting Teaway all in him, and he's breathing it in. And if he's wanting to have that on his skin, then he can have his choice. He can either put himself here, or he can bury himself in. That's his choice. So that's a great way of using essential oils when we're working with emotions. And another thing, when we're working with emotions with the oils, what we might consider to be traumatic or not traumatic could be for an animal. I mean, it could be that they lost their favorite bedding. It could be that they lost, their favorite, their toy. It doesn't necessarily have to be some catastrophic event to be a traumatic event for an animal. So just know that, okay? And the other one is Paragize, and just want to let you know, Paragize is fantastic for parasites. It's one that's it's made up of, it's got cumin, it's got spearmint, peppermint, ginger, and that's a great one that can be taken internally as well, rubbed on the belly. So Paragize is something that I do monthly with my cats and my dogs. With the cats, I don't rub it on the belly because that's just not happening. But I will put a drop and I will pet it. And with the dogs, I do rub that on their belly. And I do tend to do that around about the full moon. Always good to worm on a full moon because that's when parasites are at their most active. Not sure if anyone knew that. So then let's carry on. All right. So let me just quickly go over some of these. I will the animal scent shampoo, the ointment, and the dental juice. So the animal shampoo is a fantastic one. It's pH balancing for their coat. It really is. Once I started using it, I've never gone back. It doesn't contain any of the harmful ingredients that a lot of the other shampoos on the market have. It's formulated with 5 pure essential oils, as well as other natural ingredients. It can be used, it's a safe one to be used on all types of animals, and you don't have to worry about using it on a baby. In fact, when Luca came in the other night from this shelter, he was riddled with fleas, and so one of the things that we did is wash him with animal scent shampoo and a couple of drops of the Thieves Household Cleaner just to kind of clean him up a little bit and calm his skin down. One of the other things I do love using about the animal scent shampoo, so you can add oils to it, and quite often I'll add like lavender or purification, and that will help with getting rid of extra stinky dog, which I seem to be dealing with on a regular basis. And it's great because it has the oils in it. You're giving like a dog a massage at the same time, so you're getting a 2-for-1 deal there. Now the animal scent ointment is, again, it's designed as a salve, and it's specifically designed for external use. It's very gentle and safe. It's been enhanced with like geranium, tea tree oil, myrrh, so it's good for putting on the skin. I will let you know now that for all my vegetarians out there, for my vegans out there, animal scent ointment does have mink oil in it. And this has been somewhat of an issue. It has a mink oil byproduct in it. When I spoke to Young Living about it at convention this year, they did let me know that they're looking into reformulating that. But just want to put it out there. So just so you know, like I said, I'll be honest with you. All right, guys, we are coming close to the end. So this one kind of makes me laugh. So you all get excited, right, about using your essential oils. You're like, yeah, we're going to use these oils. There's so much we can do. And then I'll speak to you guys, or, whatever. It's amazing how many people turn around and say, well, the oils came and we left them in the kit. Newsflash, they're not going to work in the kit, right? You're not going to see the results that you are anticipating if they're in the kit. So experiment with them, play with them, get the resources. send me a friend request, become, if you do Facebook and you're not on the Potting Shed, which is open to everybody in my team, which is everybody on this call, and if listening to this, anyone's invited to it. So come to the Potting Shed, go to your upline. We have the answers, but you also have the answers too in the resources, and just by experimenting and playing. 2, consistency. So you don't have to follow a strict schedule when using these essential oils, but being consistent and using them frequently will actually give you a better result, right? Another thing, try a different technique. If you're not seeing the results, then try changing up your methods. You have topical, you have aromatic, you have internal, right? Your reference books will be able to help guide you, but you change it up. And also, hopefully everyone knows this at this point, but low quality oils versus pure quality Young Living essential oils, quality really does affect the oil. It's like comparing night and day. You wouldn't expect to go and get junk food. You wouldn't, and you know that you wouldn't go to a junk food and expect to have the same kind of quality and service and nutritional value as you would from a 5-star restaurant, right? Nor would you expect to pay the same. That's the same with these essential oils. We all know that higher quality food such is more nutritious. It helps the body run more effectively. A chai seeds are much more, higher quality than like some of the stuff the cake snacks that you can buy from the vending machine that just don't change after 2 or 3 years. But you expect to pay more, right? Again, that's the same with essential oils. So the same mindset. And then the other thing that I just want to talk about is that everybody's body is different, and that's the same for you as well as your pets. So we have different backgrounds, we have different lifestyles, so our body is all very unique to us. And so it doesn't necessarily mean that all essential oils are going to work the same way for you or your pets as they did for me. And that doesn't mean that there's anything wrong with that essential oil. It just wasn't the right oil for your body at that particular time. So not all oils will fit one particular scenario. So basically, if you try it and you don't get the results that you need, then go down the list. Try the other oils, or try the oils in your kit. You're not going to have any kind of adverse reaction as long as we follow some of the, the safety guidelines and we dilute. Then play with it. Sometimes, people come up and they'll tell me they used a particular oil to help support a particular situation. Never in a million years would I have come up with that oil. But for whatever reason, it worked for them. So you know what? Try it and play with it. And pay attention to what your animal's doing. Can you see like the eyes softening? Can you see them relaxing? Can you see them like being less achy? And guess what? That's the oil, right? And then be an advocate for your own health. Do your own research on top of seeking advice. So don't just blindly follow information without questioning whether it's accurate. This goes really for everything and anything. Today I've presented to you what I believe has worked and what has necessarily that I found worked in the past. But could I be wrong? No. But no, seriously, absolutely I could be wrong. So question it. You be your own expert. You be your own advocate, because you know yourself and your pets better than anyone else on this planet. And I really encourage everyone to do your own search and be very open, have an open dialogue with yourself about it. So without further ado, we are now finished the kind of teaching part of the training. And I'm just going to quickly run through some fun recipes. And I will also post these fun recipes on the Potting Shed. And if you're not on there, then send me a friend request and I will happily add you. So first one is a take this out for you. Is the Doggy Derma spray. Basically something amazing for your pet skin. It's soothing and very, very moisturizing. So there's that one. The next one is, oh, okay, this is not in the same notes as my dog. It's not in the same as my notes, but that's okay. Wet dog smell. You know the smell, the one that smells like fish, wet dog, and farty hot dogs. Yeah. Or your dog rolls in a puddle or crap, as Sirius does, and you just don't have time for a bath right away. So for me, in an 8-ounce bottle, I would use lavender, peppermint. So I would use an 8-ounce glass bottle, 10 drops of lavender, 6 drops of peppermint, 4 drops of purification, fill the rest with distilled water, and then just kind of shake it around and then spritz the dog. The other thing that I would use, if you've got a stinky dog, which is something that I always have, and one of my favorite recipes to kind of brighten, to freshen up the dog, is doing 10 to 15 drops of purification, 5 drops of lemon, and then just fill the rest with water, shake well, and then spritz down. So let's see what the next one is. I've quickly passed over the hyper one because I actually did share that recipe already in the potting shed. Gut health is huge, right? And my favorite oils and products to help create an unfavorable environment in your pets, guts and microbes and other things, we just don't want to be there. Not going to kind of go into it because remember, I can't diagnose, treat, prescribe, but we can create unfriendly environments for those icky things while supporting our pet's health. So oils that I would be considering are Diagize, Paradize, Tummygize, and Parafree. Diatomaceous Earth is another good one. And also adding Life9 probiotic in the dog's food every night is an absolute must. This one I totally love because it's a dry shampoo for dogs and cats. People use dry shampoo, right? So why are we not going to use it for our animals too? And this is kind of a fun one, especially if it's in between bath week. And I just mix it up and just kind of rub it away. And I've actually found that I use this for my cats. I have an indoor-outdoor cat. And I haven't been using any flea or tick spray on her this summer. And have noticed that she has been flea-free. So there you go. That's a good one. What else? The ear cleaner for dogs. This one is, yeah, because there's a lot of the ear cleaner out there. Again, it's just stuff full of chemicals. So I make up this one. Be sure not to drip any of this down into your pet's ear canal when cleaning. So I use a Q-tip, and when I use a Q-tip, I don't use the Q-tip around it. So I spritz the Q-tip, and then I just kind of go around, like, you know, the top end of the ear. We got like the token gesture. So this was the ear. So yeah, I would just kind of go around like that, you know, the flat part, not the actual, never take the Q-tip and go into the ear canal. And if I'm kind of feeling a little lazy and don't have time to make all this up or don't have some ingredients, then I will do 1 teaspoon of fractionated coconut oil. I use fractionated because it's already liquid, makes it far more easier. Half a tablespoon of witch hazel, 3 drops of lavender, and 2 drops of tea tree oil, and mix it all together. That's kind of my lazy one. So last but not least, I do believe, is car rides. And what I do is just get a couple of drops of ginger and peppermint. And Young Living have like an orb diffuser, and it's an orb, it's like a little small diffuser. Again, I think it's like $20-something. You can just plug it into a USB in the car or like a cigarette lighter, whatever you have. And you can just diffuse that if you've got a puppy. We did that when we picked up the puppy the other night. We didn't get any puppy sickness. Or if you don't have an orb diffuser, you could just do it on the cotton swabs and put some around the area. What I do is, if I'm carrying a cat, I won't put it inside the cat carrier, but I will definitely put it around the cat carrier for them. And again, that's just peppermint and ginger. Real simple, but it definitely makes a car ride is much easier on them and easier on me, because I'm not driving there having to deal with dog vomiting smell. So without further ado, that is it. I want to say thank you so much for listening to the presentation tonight. I hope that you've enjoyed it. If you have any questions at all, feel free to ask me or your upline, and we will totally try and answer. Again, if we don't, we won't kind of blow smoke up your backside, so to speak. We'll try and find the answers, and we will use and in the meantime, again, use your resources. That's what they're there for. So without further ado, let me sign off and want to say thank you so much. Take care. Bye.